Hey everybody, I'm JimClassic and you are watching Geekin. And for today's video, I would like to talk about something that I have been looking forward to for about a little over a year now. That is from the Good Smile company, the Figma figure line, Ganondorf from Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. So a funny story about this, he showed up in mid-February of this year, 2026, and he is supposed to be a late birthday present. My birthday is in May. This guy was supposed to be a birthday present for May of 2025 and shows up in mid-February of 2026. So, he's here, and I'm definitely looking forward to opening this guy up. As usual, we talk about the box, and then we're going to open this guy up. So, let's not waste any more time. As usual, before opening up the figure, we're going to talk about the box, and we have a product shot there of Ganondorf in a very striking pose right there. We see, of course, Good Smile Company, Figma, whatever that says. The figure licensed by Nintendo, whatever that says. Ganondorf, Tears of the Kingdom version. Now, moving to the side, we have just Figma and the Zonai swirls. On the back, product shots of everything that Ganondorf can do, poses and accessories and stuff. On the side, another kind of glory shot of Ganondorf just looking evil and mean. Now, of course, this slides on open, and here we have the figure in the package. It's a little shiny, a little glossy, but you know he is in there. Of course, figure on the side, licensed by Nintendo. Product number 632 on the side. Bow and arrow. On the back, I think the same image as on this one right here. On this side, same. All right, well, we already saw that side. Top, and that's it. All right, well, enough about the box. Let's open this guy up and see what he is all about. And now, standing before me is the Demon King himself, Ganondorf. And I'm looking at this figure, and I'm saying to myself, this is the first Ganondorf figure I think Figma has made. I mean, we've got how many? We've got four Links, 4 different versions of Links. I think we have 3 different versions of Zelda. And this Tears of the Kingdom Ganondorf is our first Ganondorf. And I have to say, right out the gate, this is an impressive figure. So, starting with the painting and sculpting of the figure, we have a very brutal face. Look at that. Look at that face sculpt. That is a man who is just evil. Like, that is such a face right there. He's got that cold stare. He's got the beard, the facial hair, you know, the just the proportions of this guy, the fiery mane of hair this guy's got. You know, this is a fantastic head sculpt. And even throughout the rest of the figure, you know, you have like the muscle details here on the arm, you got the chest right there, you got the wraps around the abdomen area. I guess Ganondorf is wearing like some kind of like half toga or something. I don't know. I don't know much about, you know, Japanese culture all that much, but it almost looks like a samurai's outfit, or it looks like half of a samurai's outfit, but it also gives me like a toga vibe. And of course you have like the colorful patterns coming out from behind the robe, and that almost has like maybe like what, a Turkish rug kind of a look to it. So, you know, I mean, Ganondorf seems to be sporting multiple cultures here at once. That is how I would describe it in my personal observation. But I mean, just look at this detail right here. First off, you have like the beautiful pattern going down the trim, and then you got like the folds here. You got this piece, and this piece are one item. I think it's one connected piece of plastic, but it looks like they're 2 different things. You got the little tassel down there. Like we're gonna have to be careful with the tassels. This is some thin pieces of plastic right there, so I can already tell you that's the sleeve. This is the sleeve. Oh, okay, there it is. That's the sleeve to his toga. Okay, all right, I get it now. Oh, that's clever. Anyway, there is so much detail here with the robes and the folds of the clothes, the baggy pants. I mean, you know, it's very gappy, of course, in the areas, but even like the gold trim that he's wearing, that he's adorned with, you know, on the legs, the loop of the belt, the necklace, the jewelry going down the arm. I mean, he is a king after all. He is a Gerudo king. So, you know, it makes sense that he would be all gilded up. He's got earrings too. Look at that. Earrings. Look at those ears. Look at those ears right there. They are rounded, not pointed. I thought Gerudo also have pointed ears, like the Hylians do. Like, technically, even though he's a Gerudo, isn't he also technically a Hylian just by living in the area? I'm surprised he doesn't have pointed ears. Just the sculpting and the painting of this guy is so clean and so crisp, and it looks amazing. You know, there's just so much detail here, and you know, Figma, the Good Smile Company, they did not skimp. Now, a couple of things that I do like about it. He's got some cool tattoos here on the right side of his body. It's got on the triceps and the biceps right there. I don't think he's got tattoos anywhere else that I've noticed. A little bit there on the back. I've already talked about the colorful patterns, how this looks like a Persian or a Turkish rug, which I really like. I really like those colors. Like, you don't think of Ganondorf as a colorful character, but you know, he's got a little bit on the layers of his, or the interior layers of his toga. I think that's really cool. But there's also one thing I've noticed about this figure is I don't see any Triforce iconography on him. Like, I have been looking at all the gilded adornments, and I'm not seeing anything that would look like the Triforce. There is the sacred stone that he wears in the forehead. But my understanding is by this point in Hyrule's history that even the Triforce is just pretty much a legend. It's not worshipped. It's not worshipped as it used to be. So it seems to be even the Triforce has just fallen, has been completely forgotten to history, which is weird. But, you know, it was like that for Breath of the Wild, too. But, yeah, so, you know, no. Oh, no. Well, he does have tiny feet. I was going to address that. Ganondorf does have some tiny feet. His proportions, he's got some short legs for a guy with a long body. But, you know, there are some people who are built like that. But, you know, this is an exaggeration, obviously. But, yeah, he's got some crazy proportions. And those tiny feet are not entirely load-bearing. Not too much. But that, you know, that is why we have the included stand right here. And the stand comes in like 3 pieces here. You know, you got the flat stand. You have 4 different ports to put the armature. And it is articulated in 1, 2, 3 areas. And it even comes with a removable angled piece. So, you know, if Ganondorf is if Ganondorf is feeling a little tired, you can just plug in the stand right there in the back of the toga, like so, and there we go. Oh, and he fell right out of that. Okay, well, let's try that again. Huh. Oh, wow. Okay, so that does not hold very well. Let's try this one. I haven't tried the angled one yet. Oh, wow, that does not fit well at all. I had to force it. But anyway, it's in there now. So we can do this. There we go. Okay, cool. So, there we go. Ganondorf can stand like that. First off, we have what I believe is a double ball-jointed head. So he can tilt his head, he can look up, he can look down, he can look all around. He has, I believe, is a universal ball joint right here at the hair, so you can rotate, you can swing in the breeze, left and right, up and down. I believe the neck. We have an articulated neck. There's a seam right here, so he can... I think the neck is all the way back, but he can... There we go. You see all that? You can move the neck forward and backwards. Oh! Even the back of Ganondorf's head, right here. This piece of hair articulates. You can push it in and you push it out. Okay, I just noticed that myself. That's pretty cool. Now, he does have a universal joint right here at the armpit, so he can flex out. He can go all the way around like so. It feels like a soft ratchet. Go up and down. Now, the one other thing is that this is a pretty visible joint right here. Maybe something to cover this up. I don't know. I mean, it's not in his animation model to have everything covered up. I don't know what could have been done to cover this up, but something could have been used. But he does have a butterfly joint right there at the shoulder. He does have a bicep swivel, but it is pretty tight. Like I kind of have to grasp it right there, and it looks like it can't go all the way around. Looks like it's going to rub up against the gold, so we don't want to ruin the paint there. But a double jointed elbow, like so. This is the one of the those Figma joints right there, which I love. He does have a wrist rotation and can flex which direction the ball joint is facing, and of course, you know, the hands can come off for additional hands, which we'll cover later. Same thing with the left arm, except he doesn't, I don't think he has a butterfly joint here, or it's very subtle. It's a very subtle butterfly joint. Like, both arms are very different from each other. And it's because the sleeved hand and the gilded hand. But yeah, I'm not seeing, no, this is just a ball joint. There is just a ball joint in here. But he does have a bicep swivel, and this is a little bit more complete than it can make a complete rotation, unlike the right one. He does have a hinged elbow right here. This is not one of the regular joints, but it is a full hinge, and it works rather well. We have, of course, the wide cuff here, but even the cuff has a joint right here. So when Ganondorf has the arm out, you can have the cuff falling down, and when he has his arm down, you can rotate it so that it conforms to gravity. So that is a nice touch. I mean, that is a nice touch. What can I say? Same type of joint for the left hand, so it can be removed, it can flex, and all that stuff. Now, onto the body portion. He does have a ball jointed chest and can fully rotate around. You can see up there, it's a ball joint. It's a little gappy. Might have to take a few points off of for the gappiness, but you know, for something this articulated, you know, you're gonna be putting this guy in poses, you're gonna be taking pictures, you're gonna, you know, be covering this stuff up. But like, especially if I do that, you can you can see the inside baseball that is this guy. Does he have waist articulation? He does have a waist rotation, and ooh, that's a bit tight, but I can. Well, okay, good. I didn't break it. That's a good thing. It's a ball joint. You can bisect Ganondorf. You can have Link just cut him in half. While we're at it, let's look at the toga here. We have a ball joint here, allowing these areas to kind of flop around. So the sash is right there on a joint, ball joint, ball joint. This is on a hinge right here. So that's pretty helpful. We're gonna put him back together. Let's make Ganondorf whole again. Now he does have ball joints right there in the hips, but due to the sculpting of the toga, he can only kick out that far. And there we go. Yep, he can do a Mario jump. He can do a Mario jump. Look at that. I like how the toga does get out of the way. Now, he does have a gappy thigh right here, but he does have a thigh rotation. He does have a single hinge right there for the knee, but it does make for a good knee bend. No shin swivels. This isn't a Marvel Legends figure. He does have a toe point, a toe flex. He can do, yes, he can definitely do an ankle pivot, and he has toe articulation. His toe can go all the way up, or you can just break his foot and go all the way down. I mean, look, the man's barefoot after all. All Link has to do is just, you know, plug the Master Sword into his foot, and I think Ganondorf is going to have a bad day. But yeah, I mean, he does have a range of motion here. The only thing that is really going to get in his way is his top heaviness. You know, that is what's going to stop you from putting him into dynamic poses. But then again, that's why we have the stand, so that we don't have to worry about that. One additional thing I would like to note is just beware of the golden tassel at the end of the sleeve. Throughout the course of the video, I accidentally bent it while manipulating the figure, and it's just a matter of time before I accidentally do it again and I end up shearing that thin piece of plastic right off. So, you know, I'm not counting this as a quality control issue yet because, well, I haven't broken it yet. But I have bent it. It's not supposed to be at that angle. I mean, I can manipulate it a little bit, but I gotta be extra careful with this thing. So, for you, the buyer, if you're thinking of getting this Ganondorf, beware of the golden tassel there, because if you're as clumsy as I am at times, you're gonna break this thing. Moving on to Ganondorf's accessories. He's got 2 closed fists so he can put up his dukes, 2 gripping hands, both left and right, 2 open palmed hands for maniacal posturing, and a bow draw hand and a wide open grip hand for the sword sheath, but we can talk about them a little bit later. Ganondorf also comes with 3 face swaps. The default evil face, which basically comes with the package toy, and the other 2 are an angry yelling face and a wide laughing face. Ganondorf's spear separates into 3 pieces. It makes it a lot easier just to attach the hands to each piece so that he has both holding hands has a firm grip on the spear. It actually works pretty well. I'm pretty happy how it turns out, and that spear is just beautiful. It is immaculately painted, especially with the razor's edge, how it is a different color than the flat metal part. It's got some gold carvings in there, some gold areas like the gold tassel and the red part of the spear. Like everything it has a premium paint job, and it just looks amazing, and he holds it so well. Setting up Ganondorf with the bow and arrow, well, you attach the draw hand, which is on the right wrist. It's similar to the closed fist, but the fingers are positioned differently. The left hand is the same grippy hand as used for the spear. The bow can be divided into 3 pieces. It allows for an easier fit to slide into the grip hand. The flame effect can be opened up and the arrowhead slotted in. You close the flame effect, and then you clip the other bow component to the groove in the flame, and once you're all done with that, just attach the bow to the handle, and it's all assembled. Ganondorf is ready to fire a flaming arrow straight through Link's heart. Considering how thin the bow and the arrow is, this is a pretty delicate process, as this is not something you want to do in a ham-fisted kind of way. You gotta take some care here. And all of the work is being done by the left hand. The right hand actually has no influence over the arrow whatsoever, just kind of free-floating there once you remove it. So basically it's all being done by this hand. And it's not a particularly heavy item, but like I said, it is just very delicate. Ganondorf's last 2 accessories are his katana and scabbard. And you know, these things look fantastic together. The scabbard itself looks like it's wrapped in cloth and gold with some nice red paint, and he has a special hand just for holding the scabbard itself. And then we move on to the katana, which again has some beautiful gold paint, has some I guess Hyrulean glyphs on the blade, and the painting on the edge looks fantastic. Now, there is one issue that I have with the katana, and that is the sword gripping hand. And I will demonstrate to you why. This hand has an incredibly tight grip, and because the katana is made of such thin plastic, you pretty much have to wedge that handle into the grip. Now, I did it carefully, but I had to it looks like I have to undo it carefully as well. Oh boy. And I'm going to demonstrate putting it on. So, Well, you really don't want to grab it by the blade, so I'm going to try and hold it by the hilt as much as I can. So you kind of have to put the blade in sideways between the thumb and forefinger. Just be careful. This is one of those things you gotta be careful about it. I'm gonna try and do it on camera. It's not easy doing this on camera, especially while narrating. And now that I have it in between there, I'm just gonna try and carefully twist it if possible. Notice how I have the hand halfway down the handle. You don't want to have it too high up because you got nothing to grip on back here. There. See? And then you just slide it in. Now, the instructions right here suggest you run it under warm water to loosen the plastic. Well, I mean, all right, sure, that will probably work, but then you're also running the risk of, eroding the paint away. And I mean, look how beautiful this paint deco is on the sword. It even has some cool sculpting right there on the hilt. So, like, yeah, running warm water is fine, but you're just gonna ruin the beautiful paint deco. So, this is probably the one thing. This is the biggest thing I have issue with on this toy. And if this is the biggest issue on the toy, in my opinion, then you're dealing with a pretty good figure here. One quick aside here for Ganondorf's sword. What I was talking about with trying to slot the handle into the grippy hand, I compared it to the Skyward Sword Master Sword that comes with the Skyward Sword Figma Link. And what you can do with the Master Sword here is you take the bottom part of the handle and that comes right off. Now this is an incredibly small piece, but it allows you to slot the sword into Link's hand, and then you just put the bottom back on. I mean, the katana here has a thicker handle, so you could have easily taken off the fleur de lis or whatever that's called, and popped that back on, after sliding the handle through the grippy hand. So, I mean, maybe Figma decided not to do this because this is such a small piece and maybe easily lost, but it was probably a better option than either squeezing it into the grippy hand or running it under hot water. One thing I'm not really sure about for the accessories is that Ganondorf's additional hands comes with these mushroom pegs attached to the ports, and I'm not really sure why. I have maybe 2 or 3 other Figma figures, and they usually come with a kind of a plastic hand tree to attach them to, but these little mushroom pegs are just attached to nothing, and they don't really do anything to the figure, so I'm not really sure what they're there for, but I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter what you do with them then, but it's just kind of weird that they're there, and, there's nothing in the instructions. I checked the instructions to see if there was any other use for them, and I couldn't find it. Ganondorf, Zelda, and Link. Namely, of course, Tears of the Kingdom, Ganondorf, Twilight Princess Zelda, and Skyward Sword Link. Yes, that's right. I don't even have a complete collection of any of the same video game. But I don't think a full collection really exists. No, wait, that is not true. There is a Tears of the Kingdom Link and a Tears of the Kingdom Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom Ganondorf. But either way, regardless that each one of these characters represents a different Zelda game, I still think they all look fantastic with each other. I mean, Ganondorf just towers over Link and, even Zelda. And even though Zelda and Link here are older figures, I think they still look pretty good, and they have held up over the years. So, I gotta say, it's great to finally have a Ganondorf. It really is. Oh man, this aside from this doofus, it's such a shame that after 40 years of the Legend of Zelda series, that these are pretty much the only 2 Ganondorf figures. I mean, I suppose there is the Ocarina of Time one from 1996, so that would have, geez, what is that, like 30 years? Yeah, 2026. What was that, like 30 years ago now? And, that figure, I don't even know if I had that figure. I think I used to, and then I lost it, but, there is such an underwhelming amount of Ganondorf figures, especially from you, Jack Specific. I'm looking at you guys directly here. There are so many other Ganondorfs that we could have, and like nobody is in on this, getting in on this, and I don't understand it. Like, he is a classic villain. Hell, I'll even take the cartoon series version of Ganon if we have to. But like, you know, we need more Ganondorfs, okay? Please, Figma, Jack specific, we need more Ganondorfs. Okay? Say it with me now. More Ganondorfs. More Ganondorfs. Okay, I'm done. Rant over. This figure and all of its accessories allows you so much versatility for posing, fight scenes, photography, or, you know, even just simple fun. I mean, it is a toy after all. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. To wrap things up, I think the Figma Tears of the Kingdom Ganondorf is an excellent figure with just a handful of flaws. One being the small feet, which can't hold up the full weight of the figure at times, and that's not necessarily a fault of the character design, it's just the engineering could have had stronger ankles. Not being able to comfortably fit the katana into either of the grip hands can be a bit frustrating, and obviously it could be a breakage issue considering how thin that plastic is. The thin plastic of the golden tassel is definitely a point of concern. Well, we're at the end of the video, and it came right off. Just be very careful of this little piece right there, okay? Lastly, I'm just noticing this now, and I'm starting to see stress marks around the wrist nubs. Probably wear and tear of swapping the hands so much during the course of this video. I may have to shave them down a smidge. I mean, I've had to do that with other toys, so I kind of know what I'm doing there. Otherwise, I think the painting and deco, especially the gold dormants and the sculpting of the figure, is simply amazing. Along with the level of articulation, which, okay, could use some better butterfly joints, but still, Ganondorf is an astounding figure. And lastly, I would just like to say, it is great to finally have a Ganondorf figure. He's not even my favorite version of Ganondorf. He's just the only high-quality, decent figure ever made of him. We've had several Links, 3 Zeldas, and really not much else. I mean, I would love to see enemies, definitely a Pig Ganon at some point. And it really boggles my mind how few Ganondorf toys exist. I think there's only 3 if you count the Ocarina of Time version from 1996. And you know what? Don't get me started on the Jack-specific World of Nintendo line of Zelda figures. In fact, that might be a video all on its own. But anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of the Figma Ganondorf. I'm JimClassic. You have been watching Geekin, and thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.